Nintendo games can bring us countless experiences, whether that be saving a kingdom brought to ruin 100 years ago, or even just racing friends through the depths of space. However, video games can be harder to pick up and play with the increasing complexity of controllers, especially for those who didn't grow up with a controller. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's almost like learning another language, even between consoles. Like, for example, I grew up on Nintendo controllers, so when I go over to a friend's house and I'm told to press the triangle, I don't have that link and my immersion is broken. But what if there is a way to remove that required mind link and open games up to a wider audience in the process? Well, today we'll be talking about Nintendo's efforts to do just that through the medium of mobile games. Without further ado, let's get started. Hey there, I'm Kardino, and I think I'm not alone in saying that mobile games are generally just not my style. Sure, I enjoyed my fair share of Angry Birds when it was first becoming big, and played a good amount of Geometry Dash throughout my early teens, but in general, there are only a handful of games I've actually enjoyed, especially as I grew older. Not to sound like an elitist, but I really do enjoy the console and PC experiences much more. But these games do have their market, namely the casual crowd. And it makes sense that with the blue ocean that's the general consumer, video game companies like to pump out games full of microtransactions with the illusion of depth. Raid Shadow Legends, anybody? Now, as a company who is no stranger to the casual market with the Wii, it seemed like a no-brainer for Nintendo to throw out some spin-offs and walk home with fat stacks. But here's the problem. Nintendo has always been keen on making games that focus on challenge, depth, and overall quality. Most of the time. So when you show something like Breath of the Wild to a crowd used to playing variations of Candy Crush, you usually get a response along the lines of Alternatively, they'll usually say that they're above children's games and refuse to spend $300 on a toy for kids, before going on and spending $1,200 on a new phone the next year. But as always, Nintendo had a plan. By adapting their games to mobile and removing depth from their games, they could still make a quality time waster while still raking in the dough. Their child company did this too before driving it into the ground, and the result was one of the greatest, and most profitable, phenomenons the world has seen in years. So, eyes on the prize, Nintendo partnered with DNA to bring 3 Mario games unto the world. They also made some other games in that time span, but we don't care about those today. So in trying to appeal to the casual crowd, do these games accurately reflect their series? Well, let's take a look at each of them and find out. The first Mario game Nintendo made was Super Mario Run. It was released on the brand new iPhone 7 in December of 2016, and proceeded to be a massive flop. Think New Super Mario Bros., but your character runs by themselves. You tap the screen to jump, and that's about it. You've got no power-ups besides your mushrooms and stars, no significant multiplayer, it's all about just getting to the flagpole. The story is also just about as vanilla as it gets. Bowser comes in, steals the princess and the cake, and you chase after them. It's not that the main game is bad, but there's nothing really memorable about this thing at all. Not that I was expecting some Switch caliber game or anything, but this game is just about as easy as they come. Mario even jumps over enemies automatically, so all you really need to do is jump over pits you might come across. What's more, this game is really short. There's only 24 levels in the main campaign, plus the 9 unlockable ones. At face value, this game was as basic as you could ask for. And what's more, you only got to play 3.5 levels for free before being asked to pay $10 for the full game. Yeah, like I said before, this game was a massive flop. Only about 5% of downloaders bought the full game, and it soon became clear that if Nintendo was going to survive in the mobile market, they need a different plan. I feel like soon after it released, everyone kind of forgot about this app, which is kind of sad because there's actually more than just a main campaign. You have Toad Rally, which is basically an online score competition, plus Remix 10. Remix 10 actually feels a lot more like a Mario mobile game than the main campaign did. It's just a bunch of fun, bite-sized courses which you run through while trying to collect as many medals as you can. Again, these are meant to be infinite time wasters, so there's no goal you're working toward here, but I have to say, these modes have given me a good side activity. Oh yeah, there's also a drag and drop kingdom builder mode, but literally nobody cares about it. Overall, Super Mario Run is a nice little package, and as far as representing the new Super Mario Bros. Series goes, I think it did it quite well. Almost a little too well if you ask me. But moving on, let's skip forward a couple years. It's now July of 2019, Nintendo's been releasing more than a couple controversial games, and for their next Mario representation, they decide to develop Dr. Mario World, a puzzle-based, free-to-play game in which you travel the Mushroom Kingdom in order to cure it of a viral pandemic. Hey, wait a second! Ladies and gentlemen, I think we might be onto something here. Anyway, in true Dr. Mario fashion, your job is to kill viruses by stacking pills until you have 3 of a kind. You have your typical level mode, your endless mode, and even an online multiplayer option for more competitive players. I gotta admit, as much as I'll bash mobile games 90% of the time, this one is actually a bit of a guilty pleasure for me. Just make sure you turn off the sounds for this thing because this game might have the most annoying narrator I've ever heard.
Ready?
Of course, there is one tiny problem with this thing. It's a gacha game. You see, when you first start off, you'll be given a choice between Dr. Mario, Peach, or Bowser. These are, to the best of my knowledge, the best characters in the game. But if you want any assistance or alternate characters, you're gonna need coins and diamonds. You can earn these naturally, of course, but the obviously best way to get them is to buy them outright. So while this game is free, spending is heavily encouraged. What's more, there's a stamina system too, so after 5 failed rounds, you're gonna have to wait a couple hours for your hearts to recharge. I'm honestly not surprised that this game flopped as hard as it did. It's just so obvious that they want you to spend money that it gets in the way of everything. Now I, for one, am proud to say that I've cruised through this game without making any payments, but there is no doubt that in doing so, I am put at a personal disadvantage. So yeah, that's Dr. Mario World. A decent game, but just way too willing to take your money. I mean, at least I can't deny that it does stay faithful to the original at least. I'd honestly be kind of impressed if it didn't. But if you thought Dr. Mario World was bad, man, have I got a Mario Kart game for you. Mario Kart Tour was released in September of 2019, and out of all the games Nintendo has released thus far, this one was by far the most successful, for about a week or two before everyone forgot about it. This game, whoo boy, there's no denying that this is an inferior Mario Kart experience. First of all, the controls are just bad. Sure, you get used to them over time, but there's not nearly as much precision as you'd like. Plus, the courses here are kinda tame when taken into context with the rest of the series. Like, I'm barely exaggerating here when I feel like this is just a worse version of Mario Kart 7. And I already thought that game was ho-hum to begin with, but we've only scratched the surface. Similar to Dr. Mario World, this is a gacha game, and you know what that means. Loot boxes! Oh, I'm sorry, it's the pipe. Here's how this system works this time. By winning races or completing special challenges, you'll earn a new currency called rubies. You can then invest these rubies back into the pipe to unlock new carts, gliders, and characters. The problem here though comes from the fact that you have no way of choosing what you get, so the only solution is to keep feeding rubies into the pipe. Of course, you'll have a very limited amount of rubies per play session, so the actual best way to farm rubies is by, you guessed it, microtransactions. Although I don't even think micro is the best way to describe this system. Seriously, these prices are outrageous. Oh, but it gets much deeper than that, my friends. You can also buy the $5 per month Gold Pass, which gives you access to even more rewards. And even after all that, if you still have money burning a hole in your pocket, you can invest it in character packs. Remember how I said earlier that there is no way of manipulating the pipe at all? Well, the solution to that would be to just buy these packs outright at prices that would make scalpers laugh. Now, even despite this rabbit hole of money grubbing, maybe this game would still be a fun time like in Dr. Mario World, except this time, it practically forces you to use specific characters. Because if you have these characters on specific courses, you will get double or even triple the power-ups as everyone else. Plus, you get a score boost. Now, I'm sure some people will enjoy this game, and hey, to each their own, but I just cannot justify this game's existence. It's not a good representation of the Mario Kart series, it's chock full of loot boxes, It's freaking rigged, and it's just not fun, especially racing against online players who will obviously have paid to get the top tier characters. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kinda glad this game slipped out of the mainstream as fast as it did. In the end, I'm kinda glad Nintendo stopped making new mobile games. Looking at these three alone, we can see that while those with microtransactions did better, they ended up just hurting the user experience, like every other mobile game, and there's nothing Nintendo could do to sugarcoat it. I suppose what we've learned from this is that the more Nintendo focuses on gameplay and depth, the better they represent their series. Go figure. Hopefully with all this behind us though, Nintendo can focus on new experiences to bring to the Switch. But in the meantime, I'll just end this video off by saying thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh yeah, and Headphone Mario is officially canon now.